so you know, because sometimes people say,
bad words.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
We are at 6216 Longpre Avenue in Hollywood, California, performing a video sewer inspection from the rear main line cleanout. We've run a cable with blades to try and open this up. It was stopped up when we first ran the camera. So now we're running the camera again, and we're stopped out at 122 feet, which is out in the street at approximately 7 foot 3 inches deep, about 2 feet into the street, just past the curb. So we're going to pull back. We've got a lot of root intrusions. In this area, looks like, to me, there may be a break right here. As we're pulling back, we're in water, and you can see that there's a lot of roots right here, a lot of root intrusion, and we kind of go into a hole. So it could be broken right there, and I can't get past it. It will not let the camera go past this point. So we're going to pull back now. We have roots in virtually almost every joint. There's where our dip is in the pipe right here. Very difficult to tell what this is. We have some very large root intrusion. We can't get past. We got past this point a little bit, but it looks like it's orange a little bit. We might have some clay right there. It may be broken right in this spot. Very difficult to tell, though. And that is at the curb area. We pull back. We have minor root intrusion in this joint. We bore a hole through. With the cleanout that we're running through, we can only get good 3-inch blades through here. So we're boring a hole through it, which will keep it open for a little bit. So you have root intrusion at that joint. This is still all in the street. And we have root intrusion here at this point. And we have some offset and separation in the pipe right here. Coming back, we have quite a bit of root intrusion again. We bored a hole through. And then coming back, you can see another joint. We've got quite a bit of root intrusion here. This area, difficult to tell. There's just too many roots in there. The only way that we could really tell exactly what the condition of the pipe is to put another mainline cleanout in front and hydrojet this area. Then we could tell a lot better what condition the pipe is in. Now we're coming back. We're pretty close to the 4 to 6 inch transition. There's another joint with roots in it, and just past it you can see a line right there. Shiny line to the left. That's a crack in the pipe itself. And then we have more root intrusion at the next joint. And now we're back in the 4-inch. We're in the 4-inch pipe. We have a little bit of root intrusion. We've cut a lot of that out. We have more root intrusion. And that pipe is offset. You can see at the top right corner where it's shifted a little bit. You can see the face of the pipe more at the top right corner. More root intrusion. Next joint as well. Same thing. You have root intrusion. Next one, you had minor root intrusion there. Minor root intrusion at the next joint.
Almost every joint.
Same thing, minor root intrusion at that next joint. That's probably a piece of the pipe. Could be a rock or a piece of the pipe. Looks like a piece of the pipe. More root intrusion we cut out. That joint. Root intrusion in this joint. More root intrusion in this joint. We have a separation here. Minor separation. Doesn't look too large. We've got maybe about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch. More root intrusion. We bored a hole through it at the bottom. So it will stay open right now. Should. More root intrusion in the next joint. More root intrusion in the next joint. Same thing. The cable and the blades go through. The cable and the blades are at the bottom of the pipe. So they're going to cut through it and open it up. But it cannot get all the stuff that's coming in at the top. Sometimes it does rip a lot of it out. And hopefully we flushed a lot through. We had a lot of roots in this joint. You could see the remnants on the top of the pipe where it was all stuck. And those got torn out and washed through, and all the way back here as well. you had more, and there more root intrusion in that joint. A little bit of offset on this joint. See the face of the pipe on one side, not on the other. A little heavier root intrusion in this joint. Coming back. Pretty good root intrusion coming in from the top. So we bore a hole through the bottom. As you can see, we're pushing right through, but you can't get the roots on the top, not going from back here. Same thing with this one. This one you can see is holding water. This joint is shifted. So it's holding water right at the joint. And there's no water right past the joint. And pretty heavy root intrusion in that joint. Also coming in from the top. Most of them are. Root intrusion in that joint. Root intrusion in this joint coming in from the top. Root intrusion from the next joint from the top. There was quite a bit of root intrusion in here too. There's remnants all the way along the top. You can see where it's been ripped out. That joint doesn't look too terrible. Light root intrusion in that joint. Light root intrusion in this joint. Fairly heavy root intrusion in this joint, and probably some offsetting from what I can see. I can see the face of the pipe on the right, but it's difficult to see. It's difficult to see it because of the roots, but there's some shifting in the pipe right there.
Holding water, still holding
Yeah, it's
water.
holding a little bit of water. It's flat. It's running flat. It doesn't have a lot of fall right in here. Minor root intrusion here, which is not terrible. Has some pretty good root intrusion here, which we were able to cut out and rip out. A lot of it gets ripped out once it wraps around the cable. Same thing here. A lot of it coming in from the top. It was cut out and ripped out. Small root intrusion there. Still in the clay. That joint's broken. See, there's a crack. There's a crack right here. There's a crack in the pipe there, and here's the joint right back behind it.
Right.
And that's what happens. The pipe cracks where that hub is. There's a bell hub that spigot round end goes into, and those hubs crack quite often. Small root intrusion in that joint.
We're not in the transition?
No, not yet. Small root intrusion in this joint. We're still in the clay. There's a piece of clay that's broken right to the right. See that piece sitting there? Now I believe we're probably at the transition. Difficult to tell because we're holding water. No, not yet. This is shifted a little bit. See where you see the face of the pipe to the left?
Yeah.
See quite a bit, and then I'm hitting it, I'm holding water, and then I hit it and I get over it. Right there, I'm butting up against the face of the pipe. So that piece is shifted, and that's in the turn. And there's more root intrusion coming into the back of that. You can see to the left. There's roots going into the back of that fitting.
Okay, I see. That was the transition,
Yes,
I guess.
this is the transition. We're going to stop right now. We're going to go and try and mark this out. Okay, we've marked and located this transition. It's a cast iron transition from the clay, and it's right outside the side of the house. Comes out primarily right underneath a big tree. I'm going to push back in just a tiny bit. You see where it's clay. We transition to clay right here. There's the orange clay pipe. You have a big shift in that pipe. You can see there's a big separation right there. There's probably about a 2-inch separation in that pipe right there. And when we come back, we turn. Now right there is where that section turns into cast iron. Come back in cast iron underneath the house. And you'll see where it transitions. It'll get clean. See how rough the pipe is and rusty the pipe is. Come back in. It'll transition somewhere to ABS plastic. Still cast iron right here. And they just have so much buildup. It looks like cast iron. It's not. That's ABS plastic, but it's got so much buildup on the inside of the pipe. Probably because it's holding water and it's been backing up so much. So this is all ABS right here. See where it transitions.
Yeah, it's ABS, but have a lot of
buildup on it. It transitions right here. This is where it transitions. You can see where the pipe gets smaller.
Right. Yeah.
And it's built up. A lot of roots right there. A lot of buildup. Right at 32 feet. So it's right at the wall. So I took ABS pipe pretty much to the outside, right to the interior wall, and then it transitions with about maybe 3-4 feet of cast iron, and then transitions again to clay. Right now it's running free, it's open, but a mainline clean out definitely needs to be put in front to clear it better. And the mainline clean out. Just got a little Miguel. Got him on camera. Okay, and that concludes the video sewer inspection.